Hello there, Hallmark here. I'm not the biggest professional grower. I don't have it all figured out, but I've figured out a few things, and I've gotten a lot better over the years as I've been growing more. So this year, as you saw in my last video, I've got a couple of hundred plants at this point, but I wanted to go ahead and showcase how I start my seeds off. In case you were wondering, different people do it different ways, and you probably saw a lot on YouTube about that. But here is my simple homestead method of starting seeds. Alrighty guys, here I've got the seed starting setup, and I've got the little reusable trays. I've used these about 3 years now, and eventually I'm going to transition into just wooden, homemade, kind of better for the environment kind of trays. But for right now, I'm just reusing these as many times as I can reuse them. I usually will use these 4 and 5 times per season, and now I've done it about 3 seasons, so you can see how many times these are getting used, and they'll probably last about another year, hopefully 2, but at least another year. So I've got that filled up with our Pro Mix seed starting mixture, and I've kind of labeled these what they are, like collards, and then the date of today when I sowed them, just so I can keep track. And I've got them all set up, and I'm going to plant these little strips of each thing to get them going. Now I've laid my seed packs out. I've got some from Fairy Moss here, some from Haas Tools, and I've got more from Baker Creek that I'm going to do probably tomorrow. And I've got my little guy here. He's my best friend. I like this little dude. It's a little seed starting contraption, and you can put your seeds in there, select your hole size, and then carefully shake them out. It kind of helps you to control the amount of seed that you're putting out, and it's a pretty cool little tool. So let's get started. Just to give you an example here, I'm going to do the collard greens. So I'm going to open up my seed pack here. Carefully open up our seed dispenser here, little seed guy. And I'm only going to put in just about enough to do this. And I've still got a huge amount of seeds. I don't know if you can see. But this would be the second sowing, and I've still got over half a pack of seeds. So very economical. Now I'm going to select the proper hole size, which I believe last time I did these was a 2. We'll see how a 2 goes with that. Alright, and now all I'm going to do is use my finger and put just a tiny little indentation in the soil, just to give it a little hole for the seed to go into. I don't want to plant these very deep. You only want to plant them about double the diameter of the seed usually. So I don't worry about doing a huge hole. I just do a little bit of an indentation with my finger. And then here I'm going to start just gently tapping on the thing till about 3 seeds per hole come out. Because then later on, when I go to pot these up or transplant them up, this even though there's multiple seeds, they'll all get used, which is kind of neat. So there we go, about 3 or 4 seeds per hole, and I've still got quite a lot of seeds. This one pack will last me a long time, and it makes it a great value. So I'll be able to plant these out, and then I'll also be able to take some of them to the farmer's market and sell them as transplants and let other people grow them. So economical both ways. I can usually sell these transplants for $2, maybe $3 a piece, depending on what it is. Some growers sell them for $1, which I think is, you'll sell a bunch of them, but then it's not worth the effort. So I'm going to try to go for $2 per transplant this year. Alrighty, now that we've got the seeds in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently kind of push the dirt to cover, because like I said, I don't want to cover it with more soil, because you don't want to plant them very deep. And I'm going to try to cover them with the existing soil that's there. Eventually, once I get into a bigger type of setup, I'm eventually going to go to where I use vermiculite or perlite over the top, like some of the professional growers do. But for now, just good old potting soil will work. Now, a couple of these little sails do need a little bit of soil, so I'm going to dip into my magical tub of dirt down here and just do a nice light covering. Not much at all, not even a handful, and smooth it around. Now when I get the whole tray done, I'll water the tray in, and I will set it on a heat mat to help germinate. And then we'll go from there. Once they pop, we'll go to the the next phase, which would be to pot them up and go from there. And you can see I've already got hundreds of plants in here already, so pretty fun. All right, now I keep me 2 watering cans in the greenhouse. One of them I have fertilizer mix in it. For the ones, oh mercy, that have their first true leaves, so the ones I'm ready to fertilize. But for things that don't have their first set of true leaves, I go ahead and use just regular water. So I'll go ahead and wet this tray in, just gently. I'll soak it thoroughly. Now the potting soil, I did lightly moisten it when I brought it into the greenhouse, just so, you know, it didn't, sometimes that peat moss and coconut coir, sometimes it takes a while to hydrate. So if you don't really pre-hydrate it just a little bit, it'll end up getting bad on you, and it'll dry out and you won't have any good water for your plants. So, well, there you go. On to the heat mat, and we'll see if they germinate. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. If you like the videos, make sure you hit the big thumbs up and make sure you smash that subscribe button. It really helps me out and gets my videos out there. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. If you need anything, just holler at me in the comments. I try to reply to every single comment that I get and help support the channel. I'm having a lot of fun out here, and I'll check back in with you when those start to germinate, and we'll go through the process from then on. So hang in there, keep growing. Let's do it.